Hey everybody, Mikey Warren with the Academy of Martial Studies, first live class at Fort Meade. We're down here at Gaffney Fitness Center. The gym was cool enough to let us get a hold of this facility and even start reserving it for our regular classes. So I'll just give you a little bit of a tour. They got some music playing on the stereo back here and some Zumba class going across the hall, so sorry if the background's a little crazy. We're trying to see what we can do to boost our cell signal, otherwise this would have been a live feed, so I'm gonna have to upload this a little bit later tonight. So Matt and everybody here will get rocking and rolling shortly. We got a couple more that are coming down from 5-Star Nutrition that are going to be working with us, so they'll have a little bit to talk about some of our materials. So what we're going to do is go ahead and pass my phone here and do a slight tour of the facilities. So classes are going to be Fridays and Saturdays. We're looking at 18:30 start till about 20:00 when they close. So I'm going to just go ahead and do a little rotation here. So we'll keep it to about 50 people apparently. And just so you know, we are down at Fort Meade. There we go. So this is great, got our door coming in, just a few mats, nice cubby hole to keep everything rolling. They got all the stuff that we need in here to cover everything. We'll be working with some of the grapple dummies. They got a striking area back here too. So got a lot of the basics for some rope throws and everything to rock and roll out here. So with that in mind, guys, I'm going to see about setting this up so they can see what's going on, and we're going to go ahead and get this class started. We're going to start with some urban fight fit and get into some of the basics. And today's techniques are going to cover the 1 through 12, the cover throat strike, side falls, back falls, and standing in base. So we're starting over at basics, a fresh class with some gangs that are coming back from some injuries and stuff too. So I'm going to go ahead and flip this around. All right, gang, so we're going to get this rocking and rolling. So to start with, guys, we're going to do a couple Shaolin warm-ups. And these are to get the body going, circulation mostly, and get the joints loose. So it's kind of like PRT, but actually healthy. So to start with, what we're going to do is massage our internal organs, liver, kidney, diaphragm, all of that, just by making our arms loose. And every time we exhale, we're going to slap the front and our back at the same time. So we inhale, exhale, exhale. So we'll just do a couple of those. This gets the adrenal glands nice and limbered up. It's all the adrenal going. There's that blood flowing and circulating. Massage that the internal organs. It helps get our body set for the exercise. The next part we're going to do is we're going to have our arms open. This will be the inhale. The exhale will be when the arm crosses to the other side. Inhale, exhale. So that. Right. Next one, we're going to place the back of our palm. This is small of our lumbar, and our opposite side arm is going to do a few circles backwards. We start slow and build up speed. The idea is to get the circulation of blood to the hand. Then we'll relax, we'll swing it, and we'll do the same amount of time in opposite direction. Then we'll switch sides. So start with it's real slow and smooth, and just slowly pick up that speed. Let it relax. Swing it the other way. Start slow. The other side. And the other way. Next set for us older army guys, we call knee and ankle rotations. Just hands on the knees and feet are together. We're just going to take good 10 slow circles. It's basically pushing the knees around in a circle. For those of you from Foxtrot 232 that are looking at me weird when I did all this sort of stuff before we started the official PT in the morning, this is what I was going through to get the joints warmed up. Switch directions once you get 10 on your own. same thing with the hips. Do the hips rotations. This is how you make that money when things are tight. All right. Now the next part we're going to break down is yoga based. So we're going to go into a posture that's going to work all around the lower portion of our legs. It's going to start on one side, and by the time we're done working our way through the posture, it's going to go to the other. To start with, they'll be off to the side, I'll be facing you guys. We're going to take our right knee and we're going to put it to the outside of our bodies. Our left leg's going to go straight back behind us, like so. So I have my front leg perpendicular to the direction I'm facing. So I'm facing this way, so my knee is here, bottom of my foot's there. And in this posture, anytime in yoga, when your hands are down on the mat, you want to try not to punch, to be up and round your shoulders always. The timing for this is to take 2 or 3 deep breaths. And there's 3 posture points for this. The first one is on your palms. The second one is your forearms, and the third one is reaching forward. In this case, it'll be reaching towards the camera angle. Place the forehead. So we'll go down to the forearms. For those of you soldiers doing an APFT, right after you do that sit-up event, this is the exercise to do to get your hips loose to improve your run time. And to the forehead. Back up. Now this is where it gets pretty cool. We're going to switch sides. We're going to take this back leg that's behind us, and I'm going to bring this knee to the inside of my front knee. So right now, it's behind my front knee. I'm going to turn around so you can't follow this. This back leg is going to swing from my outside to my inside, and I'm going to sit back, keeping my front leg over top of my knee. So I have a good gluteus maximus stretch on the outside of the hamstrings. I just hug this knee to me. The objective is to have this foot flat and both sides of the butt flat on the mat. When you get flexible enough, this is something that takes time. So don't worry if you can't get it right away. Now the cool part about this is after a few moments, we're going to take this twisted up leg that's up top, relax it, slowly bring it around behind us. Push your hips forward, and look at that, we're on the other side now. It's like, you know, some sort of yoga ninja magic. All right, so down to the forearms. And finally to the forehead. And back up. Now we're going to take this back leg. In our instances, I think all 3 of us, this is our right leg. We're going to bring that right knee behind the left knee. And that back foot's going to go from my outside to my inside. So in this instance, my right foot's going from my right to my left. So let's sit back on my right butt cheek, keeping my left leg over top of my front knee. I'm just going to hug that knee to me. And we'll just let that relax now. Next thing we're going to do from here, from the seated positions, we're going to start to work on our first technique. That's the back fall. If you've ever done Aikido, Jiu-Jitsu, or anything like that, or any martial art, even ones that are only stand-up, they always teach you how to fall. Well, even in airborne school, they teach us how to fall. So the idea behind this is instead of getting those common injuries that we see people when they fall, they reach to try to catch themselves on the ground and they break their wrist or their forearm. The idea is if you roll into the ground and use your forearms to absorb the impact, you will get hurt less. And if you've ever fallen and you had that air knocked out of you and panics like, I'm dying, I can't breathe, it's because your diaphragm is spasming because you've hit your ribs in the back so hard that it caused your diaphragm to spasm and it takes for that muscle to relax. So we're going to try to avoid that by using our whole arms or the outsides of our legs to absorb the impact. Where you'll see this most on television, aside from stunt actors, is the WWE. Anytime someone's coming off the top turnbuckle, you'll see a variation of this fall on the trampoline-like ring or material they like to train on. So with that in mind, a couple key points is one knee, when we're in this roll-up position, is going to be bent so it allows my lower lumbar to curve instead of standing straight where it hits like a brick fall. So I'm going to roll into the ground. The second thing is I tuck my chin so that when I flip back, I don't get that whiplash or hit the back of my head on the ground. As I do that, I exhale so that any hard hit allows my diaphragm to relax instead of tense, which causes that spasm. So what we're going to start with is the back fall. So my chin's going to tuck, and as I feel the middle of my back hitting around this region, my arm's going to come down. I notice this is a 45 degree, not in close, not up super high because I don't want to expose my ribs. So all I'm going to do is just going to keep it real simple. And then a little ball. So, with that in mind, the break fall is pretty easy to start. So we'll see how a few of the guys here are rocking and rolling it. Matt, you see how well you got this? As you hit the mats. Tuck the chin. And I'm pretty sure you guys back home didn't hear him breathe at all. So that probably hit like a brick, didn't it? Okay, so this time tuck your chin, relax, and exhale as you hit. So start with your arms crossed. And just fall at your own rate. Look at that. He has color back in his face, ladies and gentlemen. Amazing. Good. Just a good solid exhale on impact. Good. Nice. And the idea here is just to absorb the ground. Don't try to hit it too hard. Don't try to crush yourself to get there. Just let yourself fall naturally. Now, that's the back fall. So that uses both the left and the right arm simultaneously. But unfortunately, in a lot of throws, people generally in martial arts will have a hold of one of those limbs. Otherwise, you probably wouldn't be flung across the room to begin with. So in addition to hip tosses, slams, body back sit-outs, suplexes, all these different ways to get somebody on the ground hard. Hell, even the classic, we'll do the Aikido throw. Come on forward, do that handshake, because everybody's about handshaking or grabbing you in Aikido for the most part. And I love picking on my Aikido friends. So I have this here. I'm actually going to do a sword cut technique, but we'll call it Aikido. So I go here, he goes to fall. You do that. He forgot to slap. So let's have him throw me with this one and see if there's a difference. So, yep, going to swing under and pull. Nothing to it. I can slip, hit, and stand, because I'm exhaling when I hit, using my forearms. That's that loud thunderous bang that you heard. So now when I grab that, I turn, I pull. Guys heard a nice easy exhale. He gets up, he's focused, he's coherent. All right, so with this in mind, you have to learn to use one side or the other. So now that one of our arms is taken out of the equation, we're going to use the outside of that leg to absorb the impact. So what's going to happen is we'll just do that same squat position, and our bottom leg, the side we're going to land on, is going to swing in front of us, and that's basically it. Notice my palm is down, because if I hit my knuckles on the gravel, shit hurts. So palms down to smack, and it's the whole forearm and the thigh that does the absorbing. So from a standing position, it looks like I'm slipping on a banana peel, and I roll. Okay, my hand stays up, I'm ready to protect myself, boom. If I go that way, right? So we'll do this from the squatting or kneeling position. This one's a little bit more weird. I'm going to do it the side towards the camera angle. Then I'm going to face it. You can see the angle. I'm actually going to make my body look like a shrimp in an L shape. So that, so this and that. That's an absorption. All right, so let's give it a shot, fellas. Exhale and impact. Okay. Now you probably went to elbow. Common self-teaching tool. Some would say mistake, but it's not. It's something you learn from. Instead of trying to catch yourself when you fall going, and bracing into the ground, swing it in front of you so that your side, your lats, triceps, glutes, hamstrings all roll into the ground instead of trying to catch yourself where you have that elbow hurting your shoulder at the same time. Ready to give it a shot? Feel a little easier?
Yes, sir.
Now, the other trick to how I do this is I use this bottom leg, not using any brake fall. Do you see how easy I was able to go to the ground?
Yes, sir.
So, smarter, not harder. Put it on this side. Go easy on yourself. It's first night back, so you gotta go easy. Feel a little more control. That's it. Just slap them out a little bit. Or we'll slap the bag. Good, good. And we try both sides just so we work bilateral impact areas. So we never know which way you guys are going to grab us, throw us, or we just may slip on some ice out here because we finally got some snow, first snow of the year out here. Good. Now, a way that we add mobility to this and to start to learn to get our bodies limbered up as part of our just rolling is literally somersault rolling. So I'm gonna do a child style somersault, and I'm gonna show you how the break fall, both the double back or the one side or the other rolls into it. So just a normal kid somersault. We've all done this, you've seen kids do it. Squat down, hands go on the mat, tuck your chin, a somersault. So to turn this into a drill, we do that, but as our lower back hits, we slap. So this foot hits the ground, these arms slap into the ground together. Going back. Give that a shot, guys. And the reason we do this forward roll is not just because it loosens up the spine. Good, good. Just exhale a little bit more as you hit it and you'll roll into the ground. It's because if somebody's throwing you from the ground over your head, you tend to get flipped. And if you're not comfortable learning how to absorb or to reach the ground safely, whether you're upside down, it's like Maverick said, because I was inverted, man, whatever it may be, you got to get used to that. So your head's going to learn to feel where your body's at. So we're developing a proprioceptive sensitivity, touching, feeling where our opponent energy is, or in this case, the earth. It tends to be a little bigger than us, and it's an excellent bludgeoning tool. I love to use the earth to beat up my opponents. So when I'm here and I'm standing, I can learn from this roll position how to put myself into a complete fall. So if I'm standing, I'm up, fall back, it doesn't matter. All there. That leg tuck, that knee bend, also allows me to get back to my fighting stance, which we'll touch upon in a minute. All right, so the next part now, we're gonna add just one side. So the way this is done, this is a shoulder roll. So I'm gonna start on one side of my body and land together. The way I figure that out is whatever foot's forward, that's the shoulder that's gonna go first. Now, Matt, can you grab 2 of the medicine balls from the rack right here, please? So we're gonna use medicine balls to give us something round to hold on to. This is the same angle that our shoulders go when somebody has us in a throw. So if you come forward, and we're up here grappling, and I get this, it's a classic throw. I have his arm, I'm just gonna lift you off your feet. I could probably throw you from here, right? If I have a strong gi material, a shirt, it's the same kind of throw. If he's swinging at me, I come here, notice I'm not really grabbing him very much. I'm gonna move forward to the camera here. It's one finger and nothing there. So this is leverage point. So I can easily, wow, bow and throw him under the ground. So to get our body used to that angle it. Pull your shoulder up. Yes, sir. All right, toss him on this bar. He went for the weak one, the 10-pounder, didn't throw me the 20. We're gonna use this as our way of keeping ourselves honest. So I got this ball, all right? And I'm just gonna roll the first time and hold on to it. And I'm using my shoulder and coming up tucked. So if my right foot's up, okay? When I get up, that right foot's still gonna be up again. And roll backwards, just so. See? Got my left foot up. When I roll, my left foot's still up. Incidentally, if you're carrying a baby and you fall, this is critical knowledge, all right? Here you go. Like, I'm in the real one. Feel like a girl. That wasn't working out because I've seen girls throw harder. So with this in mind, when we do the one side, I'm gonna hold it. And this free side is gonna slap the ground. And a little further back so you can see the full impact. Okay. Yeah. I gotta come forward a little bit and just try rolling with it in both hands first. So if it's in your right arm, put your right foot forward, all right? And then put your left knee down. Just go down easy so you're ready. And all we're gonna do is we're just gonna try to roll, come back up like this. We're gonna roll. The idea is to get momentum carried forward. That's it. Good. Good break fall slap. All right, try 3 on each side. Good breathing. Good. And we'll get into what you're seeing, the hand being on the ground when we get up when I show you how we stand. Okay, so if it's your left arm, your left shoulder's gonna go first. It's here. Sorry. Nice. Done some shoulder rolls before I can see. Yes, sir. Matt's getting it back. It's coming back to you now. So remember, Matt, I'll do anything for love, but I just won't do that. Yeah, the curious ensemble of that song with that could be give up your motorcycle, sell your Jeep, give up your guns. Do anything for love, but just won't do that. Could be bacon, whiskey, you get the idea, gents. All right, so next part of this is how we're gonna stand up. So the next part, it's right to the door here. Yeah. So the next part we're gonna look at is how the hell we get up without compromising our defensive capabilities, okay? So to start with, it's called standing in base. All my jiu-jitsu family and brothers, great teachers like Hiron and Henry Gracie, Machado brothers, Shidoshi Charles Falk, all these guys have taught me some really great stuff. Goku Orchavichian, Dan the Beast Severn, all these guys that I work with, all have this in common. We like to get up and still stay in the fight without getting the teeth kicked in when doing so. So the idea behind this is standing in base does 2 key things. It gives us the mobility to get back to our feet, and it also gives us the ability to fight back and keep somebody away from us through this mobility. And the second thing it gives us is the ability to get up even if there's a proverbial monkey on our back. So those of you that have been under the big green army tick, we like to call it rucksack, know that's usually, I can't get up, but he helps you up, or you do this weird rollover and try to get up. I stand in base because it allows me to carry that much extra weight. So if somebody's behind me trying to sink in with those rear naked chokes or kill me or whatever it may be, and I have to get up, I can use the same basic motion, moving my hips and using my body mechanics to strengthen my attempts to stand up. And that falls on 3 points of contact. So we'll have a triangle that we're looking for. So when you watch me roll, I want you to pay attention how my one arm protects my face. And what Matt's gonna do is he's gonna step forward as if he's going to attack me. He's gonna do it slowly so you can see what my bottom foot's doing and why that's there. So he's gonna give me the bad guy push. Oh, it's so effective, I fell, ah! But I'm not panicked because I have my one hand up protecting myself, right? And this knee is up. And you notice there's very little of me on the actual ground, just my butt. I mean, I'm kind of a butt head, so I could be upside down when I sit up. A lot of you may be confused right now, but right now my ass is down. This other hand is just tapping the ground. So if you see where I'm at, I'm here. If Matt's super stealthy and he jumps that way, see how quickly I switch? All I do is switch which knee and arms up, hands back behind me. Now, this allows me to use my bottom foot to raise my bottom leg. So in this instance, my left knee is up, so my left foot I'm counting as bottom. My right leg is under it, so that's the bottom leg. So when he steps forward, see how I raise my body weight up, right? So all my body weight comes up and allows me to use this foot as a weapon. As he steps, bang, blast those knees. He'd love that, right? If I'm down and he moves towards me, bang, I can swing this too. What I really like is what I call the 2-year-old tantrum. As he steps forward, snap, bang, snap, snap. What you guys didn't catch is I stomped on his foot. Oh, he's moving it now, right? If he's kicking towards me, I've got this arm right in the face, man. Make it count. Boom, I got this arm, I got this leg. See the stomps? Throw in a few more, get even, man. I'm there, I'm back, I'm able to roll with them and move. Now, let's make this a 2-for-1 special. If you go ahead and get behind me. Now, I know you guys are already thinking wobbly, hey, you should kick it nasty. All right, so I have somebody behind me, I can see him, I can't see him. So the first thing I'm gonna do is change my angle. Yeah, I can see both. Now, whoever moves closest, I stomp first. I can get moving. How did I get up? Let's watch that standing and base part again. So once bottom foot set, backhand plants into the ground, I can raise my hip up. All I do is I bring this extended leg under my body. 1, 2, 3 points of contact. Allows me to stand in base. So a little further back from here. Oh. Stop. 1, 2, 3 points of base. So you have 3 points of base, that triangle that I promised you. So we'll give that a shot. All we're looking at now is any time now in the class that you find yourself falling, throwing, or just you sat down and you're getting up to go get a water or whatever, we always are going to stand in base. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass this over to Matt, just so he can keep me in frame, angle it down a little bit, so I'm going to fall. Yeah, kicks here, kicks here. I can swing, check my face, that mobility. So here, I bring it under this arm, stand in base. On the other side, I'm up, got my kicks, just reach and grab if I need to. I'm up, this foot goes under this arm, under this body, stand in base. So if I fall, break fall, back, boom, I'm up. Or as you say the arm, I'm up, he sees me, I'm down, right? So gents, let's see you guys get it. Good, not bad. Now the way to remember that, okay, is whichever knee's bent, that's the side that goes skyward, so turn that hip up. There it is. So let that hand protect your face now, the same knee it's up, protect your face. Yeah, you got that, stomp my shin. Good. Stomp, good stomp, good stomp. Hit it, hit it, hit it. Harder, harder. A little harder. Good, now, stay on your form. It's good. Gotta get some mass leverage. Lock the arm. Back up and bring your hips up. Now swing so that way. Harder stomp. Like this, yes, like stomp straight down. Stomp straight here, bring me up. And stomp straight into my shin. Like that. Can you feel the difference? Yes. Now, what you guys could have picked up from the camera was when I had him lock that ground hand out and pick his hips up, so the mobility, he's able to not just swing his leg and stomp, which admittedly, bang, it's a lot of power. But what happens when we're standing is what do we get to incorporate? It's not just, there's not a lot to this, standing. But when I take and have my hips into this, I get more penetration, not just because I'm swinging my hips, ladies, but it's because it allows that extra momentum. So if I just stand here, come forward just a little bit, all I'm going to do is I'm just going to put my foot and just push. So I'm going to do this with my hips as mobile as I can make them because they're trained to move. So if it's up, right? That's all the harder I'm going to push. Same thing again. I can barely reach you, right? Exact same thing now. All I'm going to do is swing my hips. All right? Now, here's the proof of the pudding. You do the same thing. So just place it on me, push. That's it. You're already feeling yourself wanting to use your hips, right? Go ahead again, no hips. Back straight in the leg, no hips. Hold foot, hold foot. All right? So this is just leg strength. Now, swing your hips. All right? Now push it hard. Don't sell it for these guys. Sell it for you. Good. We're learning the secrets of Sparta. All right, so Matt can see, so you can see it from the outside too. All I'm going to do is just pick my foot up. Okay? He's helping me. He worked on this so I can reach a little bit. But try to keep that distance from me, okay? So this is just my foot. All right, brace yourself a little bit. Okay? Now I'm not going to do any harder or faster. I'm just going to swing my hip. Feel the difference? Show me the difference. Good. Hold foot, hold foot. Good. And swing. Nice. Feel good, right? Almost want to say this is Sparta, but it's the academy. So what we're doing on the ground, with that hand back here, is allowing ourselves to get our whole body swinging into that. And instead of trying to scoot and drag across the ground, which causes a lot of friction, I'm using that planted foot, the back hand, so my whole body's off the ground. So I can stomp with a lot of power and get to my base easily. So now, go ahead and take your fall. And when I approach, you can incorporate that into your stomp. Go ahead. Finger gun. Right, so turn on your one side. Good. Protect your face. And as I approach, closest part to you, stomp straight down on the shin. Yeah, you feel that? Yeah. Now, when you feel that impact, as soon as you hit, then you swing your leg under and stand up. So as I come in, stomp. Helps you get up, doesn't it? Yes, sir. So it bounces. You're using momentum. Like my grand teacher once said, don't waste your energy, man. Use that explosion. When my opponent expands, as I expanded on him, he contracted. And when I contracted, closing the gap on him, he expanded explosively. I moved, he moved back in, he's standing on his feet. He used the impact from my shin as leverage to push his leg off to get that under his body to stand in base faster and easier. Some would call it lazy. I call it winning. All right, Matt, you ready? And a delayed response. So he picks his side. As I approach, he's got to stomp. Good. Use the whole foot. Good. Now hit it hard and up. Okay. So what this looks like from the side, you're going to give me the fall, just control a little just for camera. Okay, good. So I'm back. I'm here. As you approach, hit. And I'm right up. The whole time I'm protecting my body and coming up with one. Standing in base. Okay. We understand the reason that the hands up there is because it's the ability to swing your hips out. And we see how just on something as simple as a Sparta kick makes all the difference. It's really not a powerful leg. It's the hips that do it. Hell, even in the 70s they knew it. Everybody was kung fu fighting, and they kicked it from the hip. And as Shakira said, the hips don't lie. Either you use them or you don't. So with that in mind, we're going to touch on our, what we call offensive fighting posture. Now there's two basic postures in urban combatives. The offensive and the, say again? Oh, there's no such thing as defense. Trick question. In urban combatives, there's no such thing as defense. We leave that for the guy we're about to fuck up. There's the offensive and non-offensive stance. It's not to be confused with offense and defense. It's if I'm trying to de-escalate a situation, I'm going, look, man, I don't want to fight you. Just calm down, man. I'm not going to hit you. Come on a little closer. Give me a hug. I'm not going to hit you. Right? It's pretty offensive. It's aggressive, right? Which I like. But if I'm like, hey, look, calm down. I don't want to have any trouble. Just come in, man. Give me a hug. It's cool, man. Seems less offensive. I'm protecting my body. It's a valid point. You're too drunk. It's coming from me. That's pretty drunk. So my bodies are up. I'm protecting my face, keeping my limbs in. My knees are slightly bent, and my body in law enforcement we call blading. My gun's back here. I want my gun away from the person. And either way, this wideness becomes a little bit more narrow, covers up my heart, my lungs, all the vital organs, just by blading. I mean, you can go into a person straight on, but you're giving them that E-type silhouette that we train for, where if you blade yourself, you can move, aggress, cut angles, and it allows that front shoulder of yours to get a little extra reach. So if I'm here with my max reach, my shoulder's square, by adding that hip turn, and we just saw the hips do a lot for the stomp, I can get a lot closer. Hadouken! Okay? So with that in mind, the offensive fighting posture, we'd like to think is one hand on the headset, one hand on the microphone, ready to rock. Now there's a few key pointers. So we see boxers. They're up here, they have their hands up. Makes sense. Why? Yeah, protects their chin. Why do boxers have their hands up? Yeah, you're ready to throw a punch. So protect your chin, hit a motherfucker in the mouth, It's like Mike Tyson said, everybody has plans when somebody gets punched in the face, right? If anyone knows that, somebody with a stutter like that, like Mike Tyson, love you, man. But you got to hit a lot, but you also knock some dudes out. So the key point of that is to have the hands that can protect the face. Now boxers have what they call a full-on guard. If they get caught in a corner, they tuck their chin and they bring those hands all the way up. So at that point, you're acting defensive. If you're on the defense, what is your opponent on? A little louder.
Offense.
Offense, Matt says. So if you're on offense and you're pure defense, are you going to win anything? It's like, hey, they're shooting at me, I'm just going to sit here, we're winning the war. No, you're going to achieve dominant and superior firepower, leading to assault and place effective fire on the enemy first, and then kill them and kill everybody around them that's not dressed like you. That's how it works. That's how you win. That's how winning is done. Legit. So with that in mind, we still want our hands up because we still wear body armor, we still wear helmets in combat because there's still stuff that hit us. We may not see it coming, so we're there, but we don't want to blind ourselves. So the line, I set line for this just to show, and I'll show you guys in a moment. So if I have this field of view through here, that's it. So if I'm blading my body, my head, my chin's tucked, that's already cutting some of my forehead out. So if I bring my hands all the way up, if you can't see my eyes, I can't see you. So I bring my hands so that they're parallel with the tops of my cheeks. My one hand on the microphone, one hand on the headset. My shoulder protects this side of my chin. This fist here protects this side of the chin. This protects the front, but more importantly, my head is now forward, aggressed. I can see my opponent and target. This part is the hardest part of my skull, which will also hit and hit fists that hit at me. So I am now in an offensive posture. And the non-offensive, I still am just a moment away from that. If they swing, boom, I'm in. If I decide, you know, I've had enough, boom, and I want to grab that throat, I'm also in. The idea in the non-offensive posture is I want my hands moving towards you so you get used to seeing them. So when they hit, you're not ready for it. Here, it's on. Everything's going. So we start with the offensive fighting posture because it's the worst case scenario. We'd like to surprise the person and just punch him in the throat first. That's called winning again. So, like they said in Cobra Kai, strike first, strike hard, no mercy served, right? So with this in mind, if you then get your hands up, right? So this hand is a little bit closer to me now. If he throws that punch first every time, I'm going to see it for days. But if he shakes that, woo, just shake it, and then hit me with that one, bam! First of all, it's a moving object. If you had a ring on it, it'd be shiny, I'd be hosing you like, and this shoulder's halfway to me. Now when he incorporates, go ahead and extend that fist, hit right here. All right, now when he incorporates a little knee bend and turns his waist, maybe turn your hip. Oh, look at that, ladies. He's throwing his fist a lot deeper now. All right, so he's getting better penetration. So if he has his hand, just hold yours up for a target. So if I'm here, that's something cool. Now just placing here, all I'm going to do is turn my body. I'm not extending my arm because that's extending my arm. I'm keeping my shoulder in place just by turning my body. I'm not leaning or giving up my balance. So that forehand not only protects the jawline and the head. So when he throws a punch, he can glance off the head. He throws it over here. I've got this. He throws it over here. Throw the left hook. Boom. He may hit up here, but try to catch my chin. My chin. My chin. Fists in the way. Swing the hook. Shoulders in the way. It's not impossible to hit me. I get hit a lot, but it's a lot harder when that shoulder's protecting my body. So all we're going to do now is look at the last aspect of this, which is the legs. So as we established, knees are fragile things. You can overwork them, they can fall apart. If I were to stomp into his knees, you'd probably never walk right, or walk even less right than you do now, correct? It's a hinge. It only goes back to straight. The idea of the knee stomp is to make it bend the wrong way. The way that we defend against that is just a slight bend in the knee. So if my knees are straight and you extend that leg, right on the kneecap, snap. That's bad. Trust me, I'm a combat medic, I know these things. Now with this knee bent, same stomp. What did you feel your foot do? Slid off, right? All right. So again, straight leg, my leg is locked. Not only that, I have to bend it before I can move. Now it's slightly bent. It glances off, it gets a hard point. The rear foot also is bent so that it allows my hips to dip and swing so that I can hit with more power. Now we established from the ground position that stomping uses the hip loop. Punching is no different. Hard punch, hit the palm, right? Make sure both hands are up there. Check the face. Hard punch. Good. Now what I want you to do, extend your fist slowly, Okay? At your point of impact, this pocket should almost be pointed right at. So keep turning your waist, bend both knees. Yep, stand. Ah! Did you see how much weight came forward? So when he threw his hip into it to get that deeper punch, to hit that harder bounce, because his front knee wasn't properly bent enough, threw it off balance, right? Very cool. So with both knees there, just extend first. Good. Now I want you to see that cross. Okay. Now you see how his rear toe goes down, his heel comes up. Again. Now bend your front knee a little bit more and get that power. Okay. See that hip turning? Now this hip, side of his hips right through here. I want this area to point to here. Back. Okay. Go ahead. Yep. Come up. Keep your eyes on. Yes. Now, fill in, take place in my hand here. I want you to feel the difference in punching power. So it's your left hand, both fingers together, in there, without turning the hip, just hit. Okay, again, exhale. Now, truncate, turn that hip all the way in. Feel the difference? All right. Now, go ahead and if you throw the hand, and he's going to throw the cross section. So just hold your right hand, he's going to throw his right cross. Okay. So, rear foot on the toes. That's it. Now put that hip turn onto one and exhale. I'll explain that exhale in a second. Good. Out and back. Okay. Good. Now, impact point. I'm seeing impacts hitting in the middle of the fist. If you turn the knuckles over, what this does is it crosses your ulna and your radius. And when those bones cross, it's reinforced this impact for your wrist. Reinforces the carpal tunnel. And turning over takes the larger of the two fist bones here. When we're talking about our metacarpals in here, right? And we got our metatarsals, and we want these phalanges to stay unbroken, so we make a tight fist, thumb on the outside. We want these first two knuckles to hit, because when I turn, my ulna and my radius cross from my elbow, reinforcing all of the lower, the extremities here when I'm reaching further out, more distal on my arm. So when these two hit, it lines all the way up with these two bones. Now you'll notice ring finger, pinky finger don't exactly line up on the wrist. That's what we call boxer fractures when people get those, because there's nothing to support it behind it. So we want to turn the hand over on his impact because it adds a little extra tear on our opponent. We'll bring it in this way, guys. So that when we hit now, okay, I'm going to take you from here, so it's in the hand. So you have a good turn, but you're still kind of upright. So all I want you to do is just give it a little bit of a turn and come back. Give it a shot. And what he's going to feel is it won't feel like it's as much muscle, but he'll feel a deeper impact. Okay? On the waist, and exhale, and just turn the hand all the way through. Nice. Nice. Now, you see how he's taking his eyes off the target just like you did? Keep your eyes there this time, all the way through, out and back. Did you guys hear the difference in the camera right there? Went from boom to what? Smash. Smash. Yes. I was thinking smack. He's thinking along my brain. Smash. Right? So having that rear heel up just on the toes a little bit gives us the ability to turn our body into these shots, maintain our spine vertical balance without compromising it, protect the face and back. So knees bending is good. This is the offensive fighting posture. This is what we primarily drill from to begin with. The non-offenses we'll get into when we get into like the poop punch and some of the knife and stick drills. So to start with, knees bent, microphone, headset, eyes forward, chin in. Whatever goes out, comes straight back. It's not arm strength anymore. It's part of it. It's a body turn. Where are we going to next, Matt? All right, so Matt's remembering the 1 through 12. I like how his fingers had to help him count there, it was good. So to start with, in urban combatives, we can say lead jab, cross, lead hook, trail hook, lead uppercut, trail uppercut. That's not only complex, after a while, yeah, you'll learn it. But if you're just getting into it, it's going to slow you down. Like, lead uppercut, okay. And if you're in a fight, they go, lead uppercut. Everybody knows what that is. If I were to say, 5, could be anyone's 5, right? Pop, lead uppercut. And it helps when I'm training my Jarhead brothers, the Marines. Keep it simple. Now, granted, we go past this many, which is 4, but after a little bit, they pick it up. So to start with, we have our straight shots, our horizontals, and our verticals. Jab, the cross, the hooks, and the uppercuts. So to start with, we're going to start with the 1. Whichever side is closer to your opponent, that's the one. That's the odd number. So if my right lead's here, that's a 1. If my left lead, left hand, that's a 1. So it doesn't matter what lead you are. It doesn't matter what dominant hand or side you're in, because you may be a right-hand shooter, you may be a left-hand shooter, so your blading may be different. And yes, this is shooting, not necessarily just the wrestler shoot, but the marksmanship shoot, because that's part of our drills. We incorporate the guns. So what we're going to do is get in our offensive fighting posture. We're going to stay stationary, and we're going to do 1, 2. One hand's going to go straight out, come straight back, as the other one trades. The way that we maintain the defense when our hand's going out is with that chin tucked, my shoulder protecting me. I'm not just swinging out here like this. It's not a karate reverse punch, okay? Because that leaves the body open. We're boxing and throwing the whole body in. Still have my target in. As this hand comes back, this hand comes forward, this one glues to my chin. Okay, so when it's out here, trades, boom. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Now notice, I'm not snapping. Why? Good. He's got it day 1. Y'all want to hyperextend my elbow? I'm not hitting anything. There's nothing to absorb the impact. So what am I hitting, Matt? The air. And I've tried it. The air will kick your ass every time. So why tear apart your joints? Now I can move fast, okay, just to prove it. And that's good when I'm moving into someone. But if I'm just practicing, nice and loose. Nice and loose, relax. What we're getting is the motion here. We're going to start hitting each other in a moment. So with a front lead, whichever side you want, front hand's going to go out and back. Now, body turn's the key for this. Protecting the face, you have 1 and 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Now I'm going to mess them up here. 1, 2. All right? As you find yourself going off balance, as your shoulders go way up, relax your shoulders. There we go. And 1, and 1, and 2, and 2, and 1, 2, and 2, 1. Good. Switch your leads now. And the reason we work both sides of the body is not just so we get an awesome physique on both. It's because if I'm protecting my beer, and this guy comes for that last beer, that's my left lead now. Bang. And his buddy comes the other side. This guy was just a distraction. Bang. I can take him on either way. The beer stays mine where it should be. All right, so you have opposite side. Our knees are slightly bent. So you have that mobility. That rear heel is up just a little bit. Hand goes out and comes straight back. 1, 2. 1, 2. Shoulders are relaxed and rounded. Head is forward. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 1. Good. So we change up the sequence if this works so that we don't get set in a locked pattern. We don't want to crystallize, okay? Now, the 3, 4, this is a little different. Everyone's throwing hooks. We've seen the haymakers. It goes right through. Powerful if you connect to someone. But I like to make it even. So what we're going to do here is work the angles of our 3, 4. This hook is not a sloppy hook. We bring our elbow high, so when the fist covers our opponent's face, it comes into us. It's up, high elbow, and hits. Because if you assume a boxer's guard, okay, good boxer's guard, because I'm overwhelming you, protect yourself, after this hook, you don't even need to move. What's my forearm hit? His arm. Now, if I just raise my elbow, chin, and it pulls his arms down, which just allows me to take his offense down, okay? So if I'm in my boxing guard and Matt throws a 3 or a 4 with this elbow down, he may get in there, but I'm catching some of that. As soon as I feel that forearm, I'm going to start moving. So if he raises that elbow, he's in there. Try that side. All day. Again. Boom. And now when he pulls that all the way through, bang! Okay, so we're grabbing the guy without even opening our hands. Not only that, if the guy's a good boxer, and I throw this, bang, my elbow's right there. Goes forward, goes backwards, goes up. I'm scratching my hair. Oh, it goes down. So I'm throwing elbows too. So I'm hitting that elbow behind it. So this, like Dracula, with my cape, protects me. Boom. Boom. See that elbow? Then I just drop it and come back. So I can go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. However you want to work it. Right? So let's start just a couple of those. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4, high elbows. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. You got to reach to get that hook out there. Just like you're grabbing the beer, bringing it to you. All right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Now let's put this to some practical use for the other half of the new dojo. All right, gents, follow us along, class. We're going to work it on the larger heavy bag here because it's one thing to get the motion down. It's another thing when you work it harder. Okay? All right, Matt, if you would, just kind of keep me in the frame there. So now, good size stick mat. So I'm going to demonstrate how this heavy bag here is going to move differently when I use just my arm versus my whole body, okay? So I'm going to try to maintain my defense with this one, just arm. Now, I'm going to use my back leg to push into my opponent, okay? Hear a difference? All right? The cross. Just the arm. Arm with the back leg. Same thing with the hooks here. With the body. Can you guys hear that difference? Is it audible?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. All right. Give it a shot. Take it nice and slow. Go ahead, Matt. All right. Anyone who wants to? Go ahead, brother. You're up first. Okay. Now take your time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Now use your body, your legs to drive the punch. Keep a tighter fist so you'll feel it in your wrist. That shook it. Nice. Good, good. All right, Matt, you're up. And get to 3, 4. All right, now you guys saw I dropped both of his hands. Matt will when he sees the video, promise. All right, feel your leg come off the ground. Yeah. Use your legs as if you're trying to push something up a hill when you hit, okay? Feel the difference?
Yeah.
All right, stick into the ground and drive from the ground, just like the no-inch punch. That had more purchase on it, which is what we're looking for here. So we're incorporating some of the striking elements here, but what's really good is not just hitting a heavy bag, it's learning to hit a person. So our next part of the drill here is we're gonna work on the torso. Come on in, gents. So we learned how to incorporate more power by turning the body, getting those knees involved. And now we're gonna show how we defend against that a little bit by getting our body used to it. So body conditioning, it's part of the drills. Does you no good to be able to hit somebody and knock them out really good if you can't take a punch yourself. They may get the drop on you. I mean, you need to be strong enough to be like, or as Luke did before a big duel, okay? Luke Skywalker, that is. All right, so with this in mind, Matt, remember the old drill? So he's gonna stand open. And I'm this is gonna be static, he's gonna be his lead, whichever foot he wants forward. I'm gonna match that. So he's got his right foot, my right foot. And instead of hitting him up here, because that's gonna be easy, we're gonna start the body. And every hit, it's gonna be some impact. I'm not gonna try to kill him yet. He's gonna exhale. And then he's gonna give it back to me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Front hand first. Now, you guys saw him do that hand drop thing again? What am I going to do next time? Go ahead and tell him.
I'm going to take my head off.
I'm going to slap him in the head. So, he's going to open again. Exhale. Brace yourself. Use ground. Good. He kept his eyes on me and his hands up. I can't imagine why. All right? So come on forward. Now, this isn't killing each other just yet. The way the rules usually go is your opponent will almost always hit you too light at first, which is cool because you're looking out for each other. So you're like, dude, dial it up a little bit, man. If they hit you a little too hard, then we whisper, dude, dial it down. That way we don't seem as less tough for the other guys. But you get feedback to your partner, okay? So with each impact, we feel that it's going to and I want you to kind of absorb the impact, okay? Okay, good. Do you need harder or softer?
A little harder.
Okay, good. You said it. A little up. So they can hear you out there.
A little harder.
All right, all right. So here we go. One more time, and then you're going to be back to us. Good. Now that exhale does what to our torso? What are our abs doing? Yeah, they contract. So it tightens our core, which allows us to protect our rib cage, our internal organs, and our body stronger. And it makes our back stronger too, because instead of just the back muscles holding us up, abs are, which makes it less likely the guy's going to knock us off our center of balance. Go ahead. Wow, you got to throw it more than that. A little more than that. Good. Harder. Harder. Yeah, and get those ribs in there too. Throw the 3-4 again. Yeah. So now we're getting some stuff. He's getting the impact. He's learning what his range is. So hitting a heavy bag is good because you get some impact range. But it's not this exact same as if you do in torso. So we get that practice. And we also learn what our range is. Now when I'm taking the shots, I'm seeing punches that are actually going to hit me coming at me. What is that helping me gauge?
Distance.
Distance. Now, in order for any art to be alive, I can teach you Aikido and find a way to make it work in a fight. I can teach you crochet knitting and find a way to make it work in a fight as long as 3 elements are involved. What we're doing now is we are hitting each other, right? We're feeling real impact and real distance. Now I'm going to add the second, so that's energy. We're putting force on force with some power behind it, right? Even though it's a little bit lighter than the full force because we're developing that ability to read it and feel it so we can protect ourselves so we can hit full force without getting damage. Second thing is now, all right? Go ahead and start your 1 through 4, just a couple times, okay? A little harder. Keep going. Keep coming. Yeah. All right, again. Keep going. Good. Now, adding motion. What did it do? Aside from fuck your world up.
It threw me off, and I couldn't get you as hard.
Yeah, it couldn't get me as hard. Couldn't hit me as hard because I'm moving. Now, when you get these knees bent and your rear heel is up off the ground a little bit, so we'll come this way a little bit. You can move left or right too. It doesn't just have to be forward and back. So you ready? Last one. Look at that. I started with my left lead. Where did I just finish? My right lead, which is why we work both sides of the body. Because he stepped over, he's like, ow, that hurts, I'm gonna step over here. So I'm like, pop, pop, okay, I'll step too. So we're working both sides of the body, and we didn't have to say change sides or anything like that. It's good to remember that, but it happened what? Organically. Now, there are 1 or 2 that were a little off in impact. So what comes about when you have energy and motion, and you're trying to strike a target? What's the other element that's missing? You know what it is, EMT. We have E, energy, M, motion. It's the last element. Your guess starts with the letter T. What are we developing? Timing. Yes, ding, 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 ding. We're developing timing. So I hit powerfully, but he moves, and I'm not able to reach him. It's pointless. I can move, but if I don't hit hard, it's pointless. If I move and go to hit hard, but his guard's up, I didn't wait for the right time, it's pointless. So anything that we do, we can practice in the air, on inanimate objects, and that's good. That develops strength and conditioning. But the conditioning that we want is beyond just the physical aspects. We want that neurological instinct to understand the timing elements. Now, Matt and I are going to demonstrate an ancient Shaolin method of developing timing. All right, you remember this one?
Yes.
All right. I need a toe forward. All right? You guys know this game, right? It's developing timing, all right? So go ahead. Go ahead, your turn. All right? All right, you're warmed up. Ready? There you go, you got one. Good, it's 2, 3. He's on fire. Oh, I got him. All right, so that's a game that we played as kids. That's how you develop a sense of timing. But it wasn't just the speed.
Speed's critical. I'm going to punch you. And you're like, no, you're not. I'm moving out of the way. Versus, ha! Hey, I'm going to punch you. No, you told me. That's winning. What did you guys feel? In my hands when I moved? Friction, pressure, sudden lack of pressure, or I jumped, flexed, just a little make a move, right? So, this is about developing the feeling of timing that needs to develop. So what we're doing it with striking is we're hitting each other in the torso. So we're getting the physical conditioning, right? We are learning to take impact from that physical conditioning, but we're also conditioning our knuckles, our wrists, so that we're learning to hit more accurately. We'll put on some chest pads and stuff so we can really wail on each other, and headgear so we can go face shots and stuff too, to see how the neck and stuff's gonna move. But at the same time, once we just started moving and we started walking, it got real. So that's what we call alive. Any art that you do at all, if you add energy, put power behind it, motion, move around while you're doing it, and timing, which is try to fuck with your opponent to see if you can surprise them, you have an alive system, or at least something that will give you a chance of improved odds. I won't say it's always going to win. That's decided in here, or how deceptive you or your opponent is. How much heart is there, all right? You're walking outside, I just hit you with a brick in the back of the head. Sorry, I planned better, okay? If you got a hard enough head where I break the brick over your head, you're like, ow, okay, you're prepared better, all right? So this is how our bodies are going to be conditioned to prepare a little better. So watch with Matt once more as we start moving EMT. Go ahead. Just 1, 2, 3, 4. Harder. Good. Good. All right. Now, did you throw the front hand first the last time? He didn't. That's like 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Fuck it. 2, 3, 4. And he's throwing all backwards. But was it wrong? What was that, a little louder, Matt?
No.
No, it wasn't wrong. It's less preferred because I have more time to see it coming. But did he hit me? Yes. Did he keep the movement going? Did he protect his face? Even if he went here, boom, and then went the opposite direction, did he stop swinging? No. That's because there's no right or wrong in this training. There's more desirable and less desirable. Remember I mentioned that before we started, right? Okay, so this is an illustration of that. I still smile because as long as he's attacking his opponent, in this case me, he's doing the right thing. So when you give up, you allow yourself to choke, or you don't fight back for an instant freeze or whatever may happen, that's the only wrong thing, is not to try or fight. He's swinging. He's still making impact. He's tracking. It's not the most efficient method. When we do our counter drills, which is another, like the next level to this, oh, he'll know it right away because I'll be able to catch him before he can catch me. I may feel that hand starting to turn to slap my knuckles a little bit easier if he were to just lightly touch, just by front hand first, because it's closer, it's halfway to my opponent, so to speak. But it's not wrong. A lot of schools you go to, it's like, that's wrong. It's like, no, it's less desirable. I'm moving, I'm strengthening a punch, I'm hitting an opponent, putting some force behind it, hitting things, and I'm tracking things. It's not the most efficient shot, but here's the thing too. Same as punching as in shooting. I may not hit the exact floating rib that I want, but if I fucking cracked another rib and punched him in the ribs, same as in shooting, I may have wanted to get him in his left areola, but my round impacted an inch higher. He's still shot in the chest, right? Nitpicking. We'll get that as we get our perfection down. That's how we mess with each other. But in the fight, when you lose gross motor skills, when you're not thinking correctly, when that adrenal fight or flight complex comes in, and then tunnel vision narrows down, and you're freaked out and scared shitless because you don't know what you're going to do, and he doesn't know what you're going to do. But as long as you're swinging, and you know swinging good, you're going to come out a lot better than if you're like, I have to wait till he grabs my wrist. I broke his wrist. I walk away, my American flag pants, right? Break the wrist, walk away. No. In reality, when you get in that scenario, you want to be in the mindset of EMT, energy, motion, and timing. And I am an EMT now. I can see that too, both sides. EMT will keep you alive in a fucked up situation, both in a fight or if I come across you and have to render medical aid. So these are the first 4 strikes. Now, for demonstration purposes, I'm going to illustrate the full 1 through 12. There is on the YouTube channel that you guys are going to have this uploaded to. You're going to be able to see the 1 through 12. I made it look like a 1950s video. I did it when I was a buck sergeant. And it'll break it all down. But I'm going to demonstrate what it looks like. This is one that we do on our opponents. It adds leg kicks, how to absorb the kicks. So I'm up. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And see the body being incorporated in that? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, On the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now, why does the front knee come up first?
Closer to the target.
It's closer to the target. What am I also teaching my body how to do?
Check a kick.
Okay, check a kick. Give me another reason. Remember from Tai Chi?
Flow movement.
Following a movement, getting there. All right, check this out. Come forward. You guys didn't see him off camera, did you? It's like magic. All right, you have to edit that. So as he moves forward, okay, say I push in, I hit him here. He's strong. All my body weight is now on which leg?
Front.
Yeah, see, I can pick my back leg up. Now, I could try to lean. And you guys see that, how his shoulders just came forward? He was on me like white on rice and a paper plate and a glass of milk in a snowstorm with some cocaine on the side. So with this in mind, if I do a slow weight transition to get my leg back to try to step, he's on me. But if I lift this front foot by stomping the back, not only do I have that knee, where's all my body weight? Back leg. They do this in Tai Chi. Whenever you see, we'll make a movement. All my weight's out in this extension. This foot will come up. That stomp, when I do that little single whip action, puts all that weight on the back foot. It's an instant transition. So I'm like, boom. I can not only come in, bang, all my body weight's there, pop. Shifting the weight quickly to the back foot. Come on forward, Matt. Just so they can see it at a distance. All right, so I move in, boom. All my body weight goes there. I stomp, boom, I have that shot. And I also have the knee. So when you see this, 1, 2, we understand why the front side's first. 3, 4, we understand why the high elbows are. We'll get into the 5, 6, but I'm thinking after you saw the stomps and the break balls and stand up, it's the hips that throw that. Uppercuts can be, depending upon how close or far your opponent is, straight up or at an angle. So if you come forward again, if he's in close, straight up, just like I'm slicking my hair back with fists. Or if he's out there, I can go at a distance, okay? Now, that first stomp we'll get into, that's a 7. Toes are turned outward. It's a true Sparta kick. And the toes are outward for multiple reasons. Do you remember one of the reasons why you turn the toes out, Matt? If the leg is narrow and the foot is narrow, what are you likely to do?
Fall over.
Miss and fall over, right? So if this is my leg and this is my foot, they're both narrow. By turning my foot open, I'd make my foot wider. So now I can go up or down in this area and have more forgiving room. Instead of coming like this, I can now catch it. Not only that, when this foot is open and it lands outward, what am I opening up to do harder? Shin kick. Yeah, roundhouse, Muay Thai kick, all of that. So we start with an open area. Bang, bang, comes right into that thigh. Go and give me that 7, 8, Matt. Good. So it sets us up there. So every one of these motions has a follow-on. Watch the video for the details. So once you're there, why do we throw that elbow? Because we're close, right? So you have the front knee that comes up for reasons. But if I land, I throw my elbows, boom, boom, and I don't throw that front knee first, if I throw the back one, is it wrong? No. But we have reasons on why we drill it initially first. So watch that. We'll rock and roll it. We're coming up on our 1 hour time window here. So what we're going to do is basically close out from here so we can start cleaning up because they close the place down in about 10 minutes or so. But as always, tappingwon'tsaveyou.com. Hit us up. The rest of the guys are supposed to be from 5 Star Nutrition. I'll give Andy and the gang a bit of hell. They must have got stuck late or had an issue with getting down here, but we'll get it all worked out. We'll have the rest of the gang here soon. Tommy, Jen, all you guys that are coming out, Craig, I'm calling you out too, buddy. We'll get you set up and get into the cycle. I know it's the first one. We just got all this place and stuff set up here. But apply these. If you don't have an opponent to work with, right, we will show you something that you can do. All right, so you got that? Mm-hmm. Just kind of play it. I mean, it doesn't really have a lens, but... Did you sit on my mother? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or you can use a heavy bag, you got other tools. If you're using the air, just relax. You won't hurt the air, I promise you, but it will hurt you. Everything that goes out comes back. Whatever's not out is glued to the cheek, but notice, you can see my eyeball. I'm not tucked in, I'm right here. I'll trust that my forehead will bust open a guy's knuckle, and I also trust that if I extend that straight out, that it's coming right at you. So we talked about the body being pretty flexible, but if we slam into the ground, it hurts. So how do we take away the body impact? We slap to absorb it, and what else do we do? Tuck the chin to give the curve to the spine, the upper. Exhale, and bend the bottom knee so our spine is curved. We use the forearms to slap instead of reaching, so we don't get that jarring sensation time you find your elbow. Whenever we stand up, we stand in base, which gives us how many points of contact? 3. Triangle is a very powerful geometric shape as far as the ability to endure pressure from different sides, right? So we look for triangles in everything. And I'm going to point out a lot of them. It's crazy. It's almost like a Illuminati conspiracy of how many triangles you find in the martial arts. So with this in mind, we stand in base because we have that stomping ability. What did we learn about our hips now? Our kicks and punches are more powerful when we can turn what?
Use your hips.
Yeah, use your hips. The sway and the turning. And we looked over the offensive, and what's the other one called?
Counter-offensive.
Oh, close. The offensive and the non-offensive. It's the, hey, we're going to be buddies. It's cool. Bang, I may be drawing my knife out to stab you while hitting you on top of the head. All right? Non-offensive doesn't mean we're not fighting. It just means it looks non-offensive. This is really important if you're on camera with something, okay? This way words like premeditated don't get thrown around in the courtroom, all right? So whatever goes out comes back. We have basic motion. Now the next technique we're going to cover, the last one of the night, is the cover. Get it? We're going to cover the cover. And?
Throat strike.
Throat strike. So using the principles of energy, motion, and timing, EMT, we're going to use our first attack / defense / kill / push the guy off of us motion. That's all of these in one. There's also another full video, I think 2, dedicated just to this because it's the first technique. So with this in mind, Matt, for training purposes, is going to use a large hand to hit because if he catches with my elbow, and we'll explain in a moment, I don't want to break his hand yet. But he's going to use an open hand because is he going to hit me soft?
No.
No. So he's going to throw it right here. And what I'm going to do is reach up like I'm putting hair gel in, making sure there's no huge gap here. Can you imagine why that would be bad? Yeah, it hit me in the head. And I don't have my arm way out here because, again, what would happen? She gave me water, sanctuary. Man, the Notre Dame bells, right? So my hands are somewhat here. I'm in the non-offensive posture. He swings. I'm here. What if he swings the other side? Okay. Now do that slow motion. What if he goes 1, 2? Okay. And I don't have time to reset. I just look at it. What just came forward? Elbow. It's not always going to catch him right in the forearm or fist, but there's a high likelihood. We'll fuck him up. Now, this is nice. This is purely defensive. Now, from here I have options. I can extend my fist. I don't have to look. I know where he's at because I can feel him. Right? I can knock away. It's my gun, whatever. Right? I can be reaching for my gun and cover. Knock away and draw. But this is the cover and
Throat strike.
throat strike. Somebody's coming at us, we might as well go for him. So what I'm going to do is twofold. In reality, when he swings, this hand is going to strike the throat as far back, as deep as it can. I want Heather Brooke from mydeepthroat.com to go, damn! All right? I want to hit that super hard. As I get that, I'm not going to just let it be a blade and hit, although that's cool. I want to do some damage. So I'm up here, I'm going to hit and pull his trachea forward, pulling. So I'm literally going to grab in here. Now when I have that, you'll notice he's getting on his toes. This hand that's up is going to start smashing into his nose repeatedly. And how many steps do we want to give on our opponent?
Okay.
How many steps do I want to make you take?
Okay.
At least 3. In the infantry, 1 is none, 2 is 1, and 3 is some. I want to get his momentum going. So when I throw this shot at him, he covers. Boom, that hand comes straight out. He's going to grab, he's going to hit, grab, and go ahead and get the throat right. Do it proper.
Okay.
Is he making me move like I moved him? So he's doing this. He's being real gentle. I mean, he's popping me in the nose, okay, but just grab the throat. Shove. Buy that time to get that gun out. All right, it's only fair. Here it comes. Boom. There it goes. So we're creating space, getting an opponent off of us. All right, looks simple enough. So non-offensive posture. Just so you're just kind of here talking. Interview stance is law enforcement would like to call it.
Yeah.
Swings and hit. Grab now. Which will try to touch your thumb to your fingertips. If you feel my throat jump forward, you want to try to grip from there. That, yeah. Squeeze it. That's it. Inhale. Bam, bam, bam. Good. Now, we'll show this together. Now, that impact from that throat shot is what missing, right? So how do we get that, Matt? What do we hit first? Chest.
Yeah.
So, it's instinctive if you see me reaching for your neck to kind of tuck your chin and protect yourself, right? So we have to assume that sometimes a person might flinch really fast off that shot when they see it coming. So if we practice hitting at least the chest, nothing else, that's going to stop that motion forward. Seizing up. So we're practicing, even if we miss, follow through and still get that throat. So it looks like this. All right, as he swings, I'm going forward. That's my hit. You hear the thump and thump. Immediately seize up, reaching, trying to get my ear, or excuse me, my finger, my thumb, right up to his ears and pull. 1, 2, 3, shove, and move. Or, when we break fall on the sun, I'll do it a little gently. Okay? As he swings, I'm going towards him. You guys see what this elbow is doing? Where am I hitting? Yeah, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt a lot because he's hitting it. Boom. Now I may hit 1, 2, 3. I step. Slam. Now all I did is wrap this arm so I can use my body weight, break his ribs. I can wrap, snap his elbow. All right? If I want to get real nasty, I can follow through, slam him down. Put my knee down here, not let go. Snap. Whatever. Got options, okay? All right, so with that in mind, come on forward. I'm going to swing at you. Thump, grab. Here we go. Grab. Yeah. Hammer away. Right to the face. Don't practice missing. Touch every time. Okay? Bang. Yeah, you hit the nose. It's cool. So check it out. If I'm up here, it's not too bad, right? Don't practice missing. So, what you guys couldn't see there is when he was throwing at me, he's kind of hitting me up here. That's fine, but that's the hardest part of my head. Now, when I'm here, it's uncomfortable. Were you injured?
No.
You can do that to me, right?
Okay.
Cool. Never practice missing. Boom. Bang. Catch. Grab. That's it. Good. Good. Now, here's the psychological reason for making him hit me on the nose. We're trained since we're kids not to put each other's eye out. Put down the flamethrower. Stop running over your brother with the car. All these things were taught so we don't go to jail or kill little Bobby or Susie. So we've been taught to instinctively play nice. Not like some of our enemies who raise their children killing people, right? What do we have to overcome to pull that trigger? An entire lifetime of operant conditioning. Yep, operant conditioning. So now what we're doing is giving ourselves the permission to let ourselves win to defeat our opponents. So we're covering, oh, it's there, bang, bang. Working those shots in. You will always default to how you trained, right? So if you practice not missing or not hitting the targets and going gentle in the nose, you're going to have the fight. Now you may eventually go, ah, and start wailing on it, but you don't want to give your opponent that much of a chance. So energy, motion, timing still requires some precision. You still want to hit the targets. Now, we're able to bang each other in the nose. It's uncomfortable. You blink. Your eyes water. Your nose gets itchy. What does that tell you about it?
It's effective.
It lets you know whether it's effective or not. It's sensing it. It's reality checking it. But it also lets you know what it feels like to start getting hit in the nose, to have your throat grabbed, to get stopped in the chest. But throw that open hand to my head really hard. Really hard. Super hard. I want you to hit me as hard as you can.
Fight Club.
Okay. Good. Now, when he's impacting, okay, throw that side now. Get some of those in. Right? Now, since we know which side it is, and that way is less likely to hit your elbow, my elbow is less likely to hit your forearm, throw the fist. Right in the jaw. Harder, harder. Super hard. Super hard. All right, you guys see how I'm moving towards you? What is he giving me? Impact, right? Mm-hmm. Motion. Lets me know if my foot needs to step out. So if I don't have a proper stance, real hard, I'm learning how to get a proper stance, all by his being kind enough to hit me in the head as hard as he can. So go ahead and get your cover. I'm just going to use the open hand for your cover. All right, we're starting cover just until I'm sure his time is done. Now this hand back here, all right, I'm going to look him in the eyes, and you guys should be able to see these knuckles hit you in the back of the head. Right? Mm-hmm. So that's where I grab the back of the head, but not only that, this time I'm going to hit real hard here. So close the scalp off. There you go. If that was your head, what would happen to your neck? Whiplash. Yeah. And you saw that step you took, right? So I'm going to make it a fist now. All right, now exhale when the impact hits. Ready? Did you guys see his shoulder shift? I felt that punch ready to fly out, didn't you?
Yeah.
I know you saw it. So it's like, boom, wow. So his body is already learning how to lash out properly to protect himself, and the protection is done through attacking. So by adding energy, motion, and timing, and the fact that we're really trying to put some impact and making it realistic. Remember that breathing we did at the beginning? All that. As soon as I said breathe out, did I say swing? Did I say counter? No. Did you see the look in his eyes, the counter? I didn't hit you any harder. I didn't cause you any pain, did I?
No.
There's more to this breathing than what we first mentioned. But I'll let you guys figure that out for yourselves. You have to experience some things. A teacher can express something, but you truly understand it only by doing. All I do is point the path. You have to walk it yourself. So, any questions when we went over tonight? Was it fun? I had fun.
Yes.
We're going to get into a lot more of these drills. We'll get to the ones where we'll actually get some sweaty stuff. When I throw on my purple belt in honor of my 4 stripes purple in Russian Sambo, my 4 stripes purple in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, that's when we'll do more of the ground stuff and we'll work all that good stuff into it. Right now we're talking about urban, so it's the other belts. Hey, hit us up, tappingonsavior.com. Amito fo, guys. Amito fo. All right, let's get these mats clean. Hey, thanks for tuning in. So long, everybody.